How we doing, folks? Keep smiling, keep being happy. You know, it confuses the enemy. And here we are today. No coffee because this is not a coffee with Kev type of chat. I'm not really chatting. I'm going to have a little bit of a loose experiment. Um, and by I mean by loose experiment is a question by the Nomad, who follows me and often comments, and I do appreciate his comments. Really strikes me a really kind-hearted soul. Um, Look him up on YouTube because he lives in an extremely frugal way, and it's quite refreshing to watch. And hence, sort of the frugal element. A previous video where I said about cornflowers and saving a couple of pounds. In this modern world, a couple of pounds is almost deemed as a peanuts. I can relate to that because it isn't a lot of money nowadays. It's not a lot of money, but it's how you manage that £2. The first step was I've saved the £2, and the £2 being the figure quoted in comments. I decided that I would show you how I efficiently try and spend my £2 that I've saved. So I've been a little bit frugal and a bit frivolous. The reason I've done this is to try and demonstrate something simple. I've got £2 in my pocket and I want something to eat. I get it. In the modern world, grab something, go. And that's the pace of the modern day life. But if you are at home or you're passing a shop on the way home, etc., etc., spend your £2 in a different way. Right. For the pretense of this, I bought, because it was the only item that I quite like, but it was the only item that was 99 pence. So I bought two of them, and this is, well, it's going to, of course, it's going to put a little smile on my face. Little treat to myself is me spending this £2. Now, yeah, it's nice. What's in my mouth now, excuse me, was about 33 pence. And it's quite nice. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to grant that one. 33 pence. You've seen how long it takes me to eat 33 pence. That's 66p there. And for the purpose of this video, I went into my local shop. And no, I didn't buy porridge oats as cheaply as I possibly could. These cost £1.69, and it's a 500-gram bag of porridge oats. So we've got £1.98, £1.69. So we've got 29 pence difference. Yeah, that's cheap. That's a saving. I can make with those porridge oats just guessing 6 breakfasts for me. A suitable meal at least 6 times. But what I'm going to do is we're going to run some little tests, and I'm going to see how many meals, snacks I can get out of one bag of porridge oats. That one bag I accept is slightly cheaper. I couldn't sort of spend quite the £2 on the £2, but I've taken into consideration before people start commenting, yes, to make this suitably edible for your palate, you need to add things. You can get away with just water. I prefer a little bit of milk, maybe a little bit of honey, maybe a couple of glacé cherries, a little bit of sugar, and or even chocolate powder. Yes, those things cost. So I'm kind of, because of the small amounts of everything else I'm going to use, we are close to about the same price as two of these. So I'm going to get in the kitchen and I'm going to see what I can make and see how much longer it lasts. 66p. And yes, I'm not denying that is a nice sweet treat. Something I don't normally do. I can make a really sweet treat with these and know for a fact that it's going to last longer than the 99p I've just spent and eaten in this very short time. My little way of trying to show you guys I'm not trying to teach you to suck eggs. We all know how to potentially save money. A lot of people don't choose to. Convenience comes into play. The pressure and speed of life comes into play, because to make anything like with this takes a bit of time, but it doesn't take much time. A lot of what I'll do in real time. But a more nutritious £2, just a moment on the lips and a lifetime on the hips. You've seen me demolish a pound. Let's get cooking. See you in a bit. Right, sorry about that. I was just weighing up. I don't normally weigh up. I kind of do everything by hand, or by eye, I think the term is. Now that is 100 grams of oats. So that's 25% of the 500 gram bag. As you see, I've still got a bag from previous. I've not opened it. I'm not going to waste that just for the purpose of the experiment. But that is 100 grams. I never knew this, but according to the measuring jug, that's half a cup. So bearing in mind that this is a quarter, no, 500 grams, so it's 1.5 is 20%. The ounce is less than a quarter, 1/5, 20%. So I can get 5 lots of this. And for the purpose of this one, we are going to try, I'm going to use some oat milk. Not going to use a massive amount of oat milk, unlike trying to make porridge where there is a lot of milk. And what we're doing, use a spoon. I'm just going to I'm putting in enough so that it just combines everything together. I'll try and, if I remember, we'll try and get a link up to where I made these before. But this is something that I will do on a regular basis in my own world. 1, because I like it. 2, because it's nutritious. Now that that's in there and I've loosely mixed it, I'm allowing, just for a short period of time, I'm allowing the oats to soak up the rest of the residue of the milk. and we can pop that back in the fridge. So far, people, we're vegan friendly. As he looks at cooking some bacon later. For this one, what I'm going to do, this is dandelion honey that my technical department made and gave me a jar. Bless her, love her to pieces. She's made this, and I have tried it. I was a little bit skeptical because, well, honey comes from bees, doesn't it? No, it's not quite honey. We know a song about that, don't we, Billy? But that is, and I'm just going to put a small amount of honey in there, as I will sit there and call that. There's a natural sweetener, and that is actually really quite nice. It genuinely is, people. Something that I thought, no, that'll never do it. It does. So we're using a little bit of honey and a little bit of extra. I know this is a little bit more expensive, but this is for cooking purposes. This is coconut oil. And because it was a chocolate that we had, a chocolate treat, I'm now going to put in some chocolate powder. A little bit, just roughly on the eye. I'm not measuring. I'm not. Please don't hold me to every ounce and every penny. But all we're doing is just mixing that in nice and gentle, and letting this come up. And we've got porridge oats. I've got some oat milk. I've got some dandelion honey. And because the honey was a little bit runny, honey, I'm just going to put in just a small amount, which I think would be much. Again, not a lot, just to help tie it up. I'm trying to be frugal. I don't normally play frugal quite as precise as I am for the purpose of this one. I'm just trying to give. And it's not so much about, I mean, you guys that are living in alternative ways generally lean a little more to this more frugal way of living. A lot of you say, oh, I'd love to do it, but I can't afford to buy a camper, I can't afford to buy a caravan. There's no chance I can buy land. There is for everybody, and it has to start right from the bottom, and that is not wasting any money. To be able to gather your money to be able to buy a caravan, a camper van, or in whatever direction of alternative you care to choose. So we've got that in there. That's all soaking up really quite nice, and I'm going to be slightly greedy. This has got about into the flavour, hasn't it? It's just a little bit more chocolate powder because I was just a little bit too heavy with the milk. Yeah. But at the moment, we're using 20% of the oats, which is, I have to admit, I know you what, 20% of £1.70. Work it out for yourselves, boys and girls. I'm too busy cooking. Now that there is going to be a sweet treat. That there at the moment, also for the vegans, it's vegan. It's also pretty damn natural. And for those of you who go, oh, vegan, I will admit that those that keep saying, oh, we went down the town and we saw this lovely vegan restaurant, and tell everybody about it. Okay, there's a vegan restaurant. Do you want me to take a video going, oh, look, there's a carnivore restaurant? You're not really going to like that if you're a vegan. So think of the carnivores and think, do you really want to hear that? Mind you, can you call McDonald's a carnivore restaurant? Tongue-in-cheek gesture. So that's kind of resting, and I mean, it's only taken, you can see by the time scale on the video. Yeah, this isn't cut and shut and made to work or anything like that. And now I'm just going to get another spoon. The coconut oil, I know coconut oil, this is an expense that because it's not cheap, and I mean, I'm just using a little bit of coconut oil. It's probably going to be a little bit too much there, actually. Again, I want to try and save everything I can, because that is how I live. So it's going to warm the pan up, right? And this will be, which actually will be my lunch. I'm going to warm that up and allow the coconut oil to melt down, and a little bit longer time for the oats to draw up any moisture. This can go back in the cupboard. I'm trying to keep tidy at the same time. Check me out. Now this is just a very basic one. You can put anything in that. I mean, you know, I like things. I mean, you could put I mean, anything you like. You know, I mean, you can make sweet ones, you make savoury ones. I was considering putting a few toasted almonds in there. Oh, I know. I'll tell you what. 2 seconds. I know what I am going to put in there. A little treat for myself, because it's good for me. I'm not a big fan of these. These are chai seeds. So I'm just going to put a few chai seeds in there. Not many. A little. Funny enough, something that my mother told me, was she trained, fully qualified as a cook, as they would turn around and say. She became, she was a manageress in school meals. And I'm going to put in a few flax seeds. Not many, just, yeah. And that's all about diet, because she had to, over the course of the 5 days at school for the children, she had to produce a balanced diet over the 5 days, week in, week out, regardless. And then we get told, oh, you need to eat more of this, more of that. If you want to sustain a good, healthy diet, golden rule, really, the rule of thumb, eat only what is in season, and little and often. So people say, oh, eat chai seeds because they're good for you. Well, they are. I'm not going to deny that. This is plenty hot enough now. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Probably a little bit too much oil there, but I can use it later. But if you're just regularly putting in a few bits that make into something nice, a few bits that aren't quite as nice, yeah, it's getting the goodness into you and masking it. Now, hopefully you can see me on here. I've kind of set it up accordingly. But that there now is done. You've seen it again, time scale. You've seen how quick I can do this. Something that I did, let me just get this one there and I'll tell you a little bit. I did look into prior on the festivals. People leave a lot of things like these, oat pots, pot noodles, things like this. Well, if they're left behind, they're deemed as rubbish, and I'll take them home. I'll eat them. That is deemed as a portion for an adult, 57 grams. I'm using 100 grams because I'm making a larger meal. So we could stretch our oats even further. Now all I'm doing is basically making myself, it's my version of porridge oats, but by reducing the amount of milk that's used, respective to the desire for a sweet treat like the 99p chocolate bar. I'm making something that is, no, it won't have the texture of chocolate. It's got chocolate taste in there. So it's a good equivalent and at a fraction of the cost. So, you know, you work it out. I mean, it's what I'd say, we're talking 20p plus another 10p, that's 30p, I don't know, probably about 32p. And that 32p with the extra, let's put it up, we'll call it 50p, shall we? Just for ease of conversation. Now I'm sitting there, which I forgot to do, close that down to let the heat go through a bit more. But that is costing, okay, I'm burning gas. That's costing money. It's not cold enough for me to have a log burner on because it is still quite mild, even though it's wet outside. But I'm burning gas and it's costing me, well, I bought a bottle a little while ago. It equates to about £1.07 per week. So we're probably not even talking about a penny's worth of gas for me. I appreciate you guys that have proper utility bills. Yes, it is going to cost. But this should very close, hold on, we'll just give it a try. Yep. Now before I flip it over, that's how it looks. We'll bang it over on the other side and it will take a couple of minutes, if that, probably, just to warm through a bit more. In a short time, I demolished 99p worth of chocolate. One of these. With a little bit of effort. Because anything free is not necessarily free. You have to put effort, you have to spend energy, and you have to spend time to be able to achieve. But this now, in the time that I've been chatting with you, like I said, I'm doing it live, you know, no trickery. So I'm now going to get a plate out because that will suffice. I'll turn that off, flip that over, and if I wanted to, which I'll tell you what I'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I've now cut that into 4 sections, which are very, very close, give or take. Each one is equivalent to one of those chocolate bars. And that is going to be extremely warm at the moment. Huff and puff and blow your house down. Now that oi, 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 what are you two barking at? Now that that's a vegan. Vegan. How about that? Get me, I'm being vegan. Treat. I could 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 1 a day. Treat with a cup of tea. Whereas I'm going to this time, because it's going to be my lunch, There you go. It's nutritious, especially on the cooler days when these are warm. Oh, absolutely superb. But that has cost a fraction to that. I had a pound treat that lasted a couple of minutes. This is 1/5. This is a proper. We'll allow for the extras. As I said, we'll call it about 30p. 1, 2, 3, 4 treats for 30p. 1 treat for a pound. Great things come from small items. Mighty things grow from small acorns. And this, it is a vegan treat. And it is absolutely beautiful. And I must say, I've got to thank the technical department because some of the ingredients, she put me onto them. So I do. For that, I thank you and I love you. This is really tasty. I'm going to call it quits on this video. It's only a short one just to give a brief explanation of how we can all start to save, become more frugal, still enjoy with a little bit of effort and a little bit of time. The choice, my friends, is yours. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this chicken logo. Thank you very, very, very much from the bottom of my heart to all of you for that one. The comments, as per normal, please, down the bottom there, loved them. And ironically, thank you, the Nomad, because you, my friend, gave me the inspiration to do this video to try and show others how you can, even when you don't think you can save a few pounds. Take care, folks. We'll catch you soon. Keep smiling and keep being happy. Ta-da for now.